How to download macOS installers for new and old versions. Want to know how to download macOS and macOS X installers from? You might be wondering where you can download older versions of macOS from, particularly if you're looking to install a different macOS version or even an older system software version. Downloading and using different macOS installers is very common for troubleshooting purposes, for IT staff and admins, and for tinkerers. Where to download macOS installers from? New versions of macOS installers are typically available through the Mac App Store, accessed through a computer that is compatible with the latest Mac system software release. Older versions of macOS X installers can often be downloaded as well, but from different sources. For earlier versions of macOS X, including macOS X Mavericks 10.9, macOS X Mountain Lion 10.8, macOS X Lion 10.7, macOS X Snow Leopard 10.6, macOS X Leopard 10.5, macOS X Tiger 10.4, and before, the process to obtain those installers differs a bit. Downloading macOS X installers from App Store purchases. If you had at one point in time purchased or downloaded a version of macOS or macOS X from the Mac App Store, then you should be able to re-download it from the Mac App Store by going to the Purchases section. This can typically be used to access downloads for installers for macOS Mojave, High Sierra, Sierra, Mavericks, and Mountain Lion, though there are some caveats and exceptions. Open the App Store. Go to the Purchases section. Newer App Store versions must go to Account, Purchases. Scroll down the list of purchased items to locate the macOS X installer version you wish to re-download, then click on the Download button. This works particularly well if the Mac you're downloading the software onto is running an older version of macOS X. This approach for re-downloading older OS X installers from App Store Purchases section works for obtaining many older versions of macOS X, particularly if the machine doing the downloading is running an older Mac release too. For example, re-downloading Mavericks from Yosemite, whereas if you're running the App Store from newer versions of macOS you'd need to follow the links further above to download the installers directly, or via the App Store links. For buying even older versions of macOS X, you may have some luck searching on Amazon or eBay and buying old physical copies of the installer disks. Keep in mind those earlier macOS X software updates used to cost a significant amount of money to update to, and so even if they're old they can still carry a premium. Another option is to peruse the Apple Vintage Software Collection at archive.org, which may have image files of older system restore disks and other older system software. Just beware that archive.org is not an official distributor of Apple software, so appropriate precautions should be taken and only download from there at your own risk. Finally, if you're looking to download much older classic macOS software, check out this article which discusses finding original classic macOS system releases that go back far before the transition to macOS X and Unix underpinnings.